Welcome to A Mile in Her Shoes, the Emily Young story. I'm Gage Kilborn, and joined alongside me is Emily Young. So for starters, you ran cross country at Camillus at West Genesee. Can you talk to us about what made you decide to go for running in the first place?
Yeah, I actually played soccer for most of my life, and then my sophomore year of high school, I decided to try out for track, and I really liked it. My coach kind of talked to me like, you could have a future in this, try cross country, just give it one season. If you don't like it, you can always go back to soccer, and I fell in love with it.
Well, not only did you fall in love with it, but you came with some record-going times right now. But going off of that, your coach is your inspiration? Who is your main inspiration for you to be running as well as you have been so far?
Yeah, I think it definitely started with my dad. He was the one who always wanted me to get into running. I grew up watching running because of him, and he always, I think, really wanted me to run cross country and give it a shot, and was really happy when I did. But he definitely shaped my running career.
When was it when you realized you wanted to make running your career going to college? When did you really feel like you could make something out of this and think, oh, this could probably be something that I can make a career out of?
Yeah, junior year of high school, I think everything started to click. After that cross-country season, I had a really great track season, and I really just started to fall in love with the sport and wanted to start looking into colleges and started looking into programs. But I don't think it was until I came to college and really started running for the school that I realized how much I really love it and how much I really wanted to dedicate a part of my life to it.
But was there any other schools that was looking at you in high school before you decided to go to Quinnipiac?
Yeah, I looked at a few other schools, but once I stepped foot onto this campus, I knew I wanted to come here. I went on one other visit to a school officially for the team, but I kind of just went on it because I wanted to make sure that this was the school for me. I honestly would have committed right after I visited here.
So now you got to school here, you stepped foot on grounds, after your first year season, going to run here. What did you feel like? Did you feel any challenges or any hurdles that you had to go through to make the jump from high school level to a Division I jump?
Yeah, it was definitely that summer leading into it. I was so nervous. I was trying to hit my pace on every run. I just wanted to come in and be part of the team and not be behind anyone. And then that cross country season, it was definitely different being a part of a team. And then I ended up actually getting injured. So that was hard to sit out of cross country, but I think it definitely made me a stronger runner in the future, and I learned a lot about it.
So you've really improved throughout your career here at Quinnipiac and become one of the more elite runners of the program's history. And with that all being said, one of the races that I was watching was the 800-meter race in the MAC finals. When you came with 100 meters left, you were in third, and you came back and came away with a finish. Can you describe what was going through your mindset with the last 100 meters of the race?
Yeah, that was a fun race. I knew going into it, going into the weekend, I really wanted to win that race, but I had a few races I had to get through first to get there. Once I got there, I just kind of had to go into it knowing I don't know what's going to happen, but I'm going to hang on as long as possible. And then going into that last lap, I was just thinking about how I didn't want to be in the lead going into the final 100. I'm so much better at chasing people down, and I wanted to come from behind. And when she started to make the move, I knew that I had one opportunity to go for it. And I knew I wanted it, and I think at that point it was that was what got me through, was that want of winning.
So my favorite part of running when I used to do it was the felt stuff, freedom, running through the wind and feeling like the chase of freedom. What about it for you with this sport is your favorite part about it?
Yeah, I think it's really I would agree that freedom really is something, and it is that runner's high that when you feel so accomplished, and it's that ability to push yourself beyond limits that you thought that you could do. And there's no better feeling than oh, I ran 10 miles this morning and my roommates are just waking up. There's that feeling you get.
So during the pandemic, obviously it was a bit tough to figure out a way to work out the scheduling and meeting in person to have all those track meets and have your practices with your coaches and teammates. So what were you guys doing during the pandemic to really to keep being on the right track and to keep running?
Yeah, my junior year, that fall season, we didn't have a cross-country season, and it actually kind of worked out for me. I was injured, so I couldn't run anyways, but then we turned to have a winter cross-country season, which was unheard of, something
That sounds
completely new.
bizarre.
Yeah, we were running cross country races in the middle of winter, and our team, like, we had to practice in smaller groups, and we had like little pods, and I couldn't even make practice half the time because I was in the nursing program. So I never really knew what was going on, and we'd show up to the meet and we'd be wearing masks until we were on the line, and then we'd hand our masks to our coach and we'd take off. It was so unique, but our team just kept grinding and kept training, and they knew that there was always the possibility that our season was going to come back to normal, and we had to be ready for it.
In your grad student year, unfortunately your last season here running for us, for the school, but can you tell us about some underclassmen that you think are the future of this program that you really like to see run?
Yeah, this year we have a very young team. We have like over 20 freshmen on our track team.
Oh wow.
And it's been very exciting to just like watch them come in and knowing that this future of the program is in such good hands. And I've become so close with them. This cross country season, Rachel St. Germain, she was Rookie of the Meet and Rookie of the Year. She just really helped amplify our program. But even like, it's not even just looking at performances right now. Our future, they're going to develop so well. And people like Tina Gonzalez, she's ran a huge PR this past weekend. She's a sophomore, but she is on her first season of indoor. And just like, I don't know, we have so many people, and I'm so excited to see. Whenever you set a record, it's like records are meant to be broken, and I know that these girls are gonna come and they're gonna break them all.
All right, so you probably heard Riley Brennan's been the main name going on with your team. She already broke this program record a few weeks ago with the MAC championships, and she re-broke her program record she set a few weeks ago last weekend. Can you talk about how she has been like a big contributing force to the field events as well?
Yeah, it's so hard when we don't have a facility for her to practice in, but she comes out here with her pole, and she's working hard, and I watch her, and it's so fun. I love watching pole vault. It's such a fun event. But I remember Max, I was watching the pole vault, and it was like I couldn't take my eyes off of it. They were all fighting, and it just kept narrowing down to the final two. And then I had to go warm up, and I saw her after the race and was like, how'd it go? She's like, I won. It went to a jump off, and like, it was so cool to see a freshman go out there and win her first Max and just keep jumping better. And she has very few, there's only 2 pole vaulters, so there's not like a huge group of them to work off of each other. Yeah. So for her to come in and just take that over, it's impressive, and I can't wait to see what she does going on.
So where do you guys practice? Because there's not much of a course really out here, except where we run up York Hill, which I've done a couple of times, and it's not fun to do, I'll admit. But where do you guys usually go to practice?
Yeah, for cross country, we typically will do like our workouts in the field out in the back, and then we actually were doing them out front, and then we had to keep crossing the road with like the shuttles coming in and everything.
Oh, that's always fun.
That got a little too dangerous, so we moved back. We also will go onto the trail right there, and we'll do like our tempos and some 800s there. In track season, during COVID, we weren't allowed to go to Yale, so we were just doing them on the track up here. And then now we're able to go to Yale a few times a week, so we can use their facilities. Obviously,
for athletics, it's not really well known for cross country nationally, or running sports nationally compared to their hockey programs. Is there anything you would like to say to anybody about about how much of a sport running is compared to all other mainstream sports here on campus?
Yeah, I feel like running is a very hard sport to understand unless you've actually done it. It can be very easy to overlook. Our program is rising up. We're one of the best in the MAC. We won MACs for cross country. We were second in indoor, and we're with such a young team. We're really starting to rise up, and our cross country team is really going to start placing in the regional a lot higher. We have some athletes that could potentially go to nationals or go to regionals, and I think our program really is going to be on the national caliber coming up. We just need the right support.
You mentioned, the one that I completely missed on was the MAC championship victory over Iona in cross country season. And going in, I don't think you guys were picked to win the MAC. I think it was Iona was picked to win the MAC, and I think we're supposed to finish second. But how did it feel after all that years of hard work to finally finish as a MAC champion, and not just a MAC champion, but the first MAC champion for the school this year for Quinnipiac?
It was pretty cool. I know going into the season, I had talked to our coach and she really wanted it and we knew we had a good shot at it. We had a few girls that really stepped it up this year and really closed that gap to make us a really solid team. And our coach always says seeds are for birds. Like if we went off of the seeds, then we wouldn't run the championship. And going in, we knew that we were kind of the underdogs, but we knew that we should win that title and it belonged to us. And everyone did exactly what they needed to do. And it was 5 years in the making for me, so it was so cool.
We'd like to take this time to say thank you to Emily Young for giving us her inside scoop of her career here at Quinnipiac. And for you guys back at home, if you want to check out more of the women's cross country track and field team, go onto their Twitter at QU_TFXC. Gage Kilborn, Q30 Sports.